Hey guys, Ephram Oliver here, back with another video, finally. Sorry, I haven't uploaded something in a while. I basically started out quarantine thinking, oh yeah, this will be over in a couple weeks. So I took advantage of that and sort of rushed the finish line with the Invisible Man video. And it's a video I'm very proud of, but it's been months since then, and I haven't really made anything since. So I decided with this video, I'm going to fix that. During quarantine, of course, everybody has had a lot of extra free time and frankly no idea what to do with it. But personally, I've been taking the time to see a lot of movies I haven't gotten the chance to see yet. And I thought, hey, I should make a series about that. So I'm starting a new series on the channel called Film Diary. Every month in between the larger projects I'm working on, I'll give you guys a simple, laid-back, vlog-style video with updates on everything I've been watching, at least while quarantine lasts. So without further ado, let's get into Film Diary, May 2020 edition. So starting out the month, I watched Bad Education, currently streaming on HBO Max. And it was good. It's sort of Wolf of Wall Street, but for the public school system. I can't say there was anything too deep about it, or revolutionary, but the whole film flowed really nicely, and Hugh Jackman's performance was excellent. The next day, I watched the classic Hollywood musical West Side Story, directed by Robert Wise and Jerome Robbins, one of whom is responsible for my current favorite movie of all time. So I feel like I need to give some background before I share my extremely positive thoughts on this. I'm a pretty big fan of musicals. You could call me a theater kid. I'm a theater major at my high school, and it's probably one of my favorite genres of film. But the last several theater adaptations I've watched have been rough. The Greatest Showman, Jersey Boys, Romeo plus Juliet, and, Cats. So, that's not to say I fell out of love with musicals, but I started to think, oh, maybe I've just hit most of the good ones already. And then I remembered I haven't actually seen West Side Story in full. So I finally gave it a watch, and holy cow, this movie is actually a masterpiece. If you watch this back to back with the other films I just mentioned, you realize how much of an upgrade this is from a filmmaking perspective. The direction, the choreography, the cinematography, the set design, and obviously, well, the music. I could honestly make a full video on this, that's how much I love it, but for now, I'll leave it at that. Please watch it. Then I watched 10 Things I Hate About You, currently streaming on Disney+. It's not without its flaws, and it does follow a formula. Shakespeare, yes, that's right. 10 Things I Hate About You is based on a Shakespeare play. Taming the Shrew, fun fact, look it up. Jokes aside, this is a pretty traditional high school movie overall, and may not have the same impact on everyone else, but lucky for me, I love high school movies, and so, of course, I adored this. Then I skipped a day and rewatched Silver Linings Playbook. I normally want to focus on first viewings on this series, but this was one I hadn't watched in a while, and now that I watched it, this thing does not hold up at all. Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper are pretty good, but they somehow made Robert De Niro boring, and I'll never forgive them for that. Then I started my Star Wars rewatch in preparation for my upcoming Rise of Skywalker video that I'm still writing as we speak. It's a long one. I won't talk about those movies in this video because you're going to see a lot of it in that video, so look out for that. On May 8th, I watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High, following that high school movie trend. This probably has more to say about the high school experience than 10 Things I Hate About You did, despite not being based on Shakespeare of any kind. I didn't like it as much, but it's still a really well-made film that tackled growing up, and particularly sexuality, in a really honest and heartfelt way. And I watched it the day after Amy Heckerling's birthday. Then I finally checked out Chinatown, directed by Roman Polanski, and I enjoyed it. The story didn't captivate me like I thought it would, but the ending definitely took it up a notch. Then I watched both Kill Bills on Hulu, and didn't like them? Sorry, I don't know. I have a weird relationship with Quentin Tarantino. I really love Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, and Django Unchained, but some of his other films just don't do it for me. They feel really idle and, frankly, gimmicky. Like he's just playing with his toys, but doesn't know how to restrain himself and craft a solid narrative out of it. I respect Kill Bill and its impact on modern cinema, and I even enjoyed a lot of the fight scenes thoroughly, but in the end, I just don't think I got a lot out of it, and even found myself cringing at a lot of the dialogue, which I usually think Tarantino does a pretty good job at. Both volumes get a 5 out of 10 from me. If you want to know, I like Volume 1 slightly better than Volume 2, because I feel like it has an overall more solid plot. But they're both pretty much the same movie, and so the difference is like this much. On May 13th, I watched Josh Trank's big comeback, Capone. This thing generated a lot of hype online for being wild and creative and bizarre and like ridiculously bad. But when I watched it, I got a dull, aimless movie. I could not empathize with anyone in this thing because they were all cartoon cutouts of real people. I seriously think this movie could have been much better if everyone were just Muppets or something. I can't say I was ever really bored, but I was never really engaged either. Tom Hardy chewing a carrot, pooping himself, and shooting a bunch of people with a Tommy gun sounds really entertaining, but in execution, it was just plain stupid. Then, 2 days later, I watched Scoob. I was weirdly kind of excited for this movie. I don't care about Scooby-Doo, never have, but something about it intrigued me, and I gotta say, it wasn't all that bad. If you're a big Scooby-Doo fan, I can see this upsetting you. It has virtually no semblance to the original cartoons. The plot is freaking bizarre. It's like Scooby-Doo is a descendant of Alexander the Great's dog and being used by this weird supervillain named Dick to unlock a portal or something. And even some of the characters don't act like they usually do. Like, Fred was really uncharacteristically dumb. But something about its absurdity was refreshing when I compare it to something like Sonic or Detective Pikachu or the Lion King remake, which are all safe, boring kids movies that didn't try to do anything new or take advantage of the medium of animation. I can't say Scoob earns my praise, but I can't deny that I had a little bit of fun watching it. Skipping ahead a few days, I finally saw the movie every film student has a poster of in their college dorm, parentheses, 500 Days of Summer. This movie is not afraid to be what it is, and I love that. It's very cute, very dorky, but also feels very genuine and has a great message at the end of it. It made me want to fall in love, screw it up, and try it all over again. It was beautiful. Talking about yet another romance movie, we have Brokeback Mountain, directed by Ang Lee, my boy. This walked so Call Me By Your Name could run, but nevertheless, it's pretty great. Then I saw Team America World Police, randomly. Trey Parker and Matt Stone are hit or miss for me. I like a lot of the classic South Park episodes, but an equal amount of them are just not as clever as they think they are. And I'd say this veered more on the stupid side than funny, but I had a good time with it overall. On May 23rd, I watched Finding Frances, the finale of Nathan For You. You can debate all you want on whether this counts as a movie or not, but the point is, it's really, really good, and probably, if I'm honest, it's the best thing I watched this month. Nathan Fielder has a great talent for capturing the surprising honesty in people, even while putting a camera in front of their face. And this last ride kind of sums up the whole show. The Bill Gates impersonator he teams up with goes looking for his long-lost love of his across the country, and along the way kind of acts like a creepy stalker. But before he makes the wrong choice, he connects with this person on the phone rather than just getting what he wants out of her. And he goes on to find love in other places. Nathan, throughout the show, is constantly trying to prove himself to other people while not recognizing his own worth. So naturally, he hires a female escort. It's a little uncomfortable at first, but it was also really kind of beautiful. And it proves that real human connection can come from the most unconventional of places. Easily a 10 out of 10. Then I finished up my long ongoing Star Wars rewatch, and after that I tuned into Spike Jonze's Being John Malkovich. I don't think there is a single screenwriter more fascinating than Charlie Kaufman, and this is probably one of his more digestible films. I mean, who doesn't love to see John Malkovich sitting across from another John Malkovich in a dress and totally flipping out? But it's also very strange. I was cackling for most of the first hour or so, and then became really entranced by the end of it. I think the central thematic question is, why can't we love each other for who we are? But like all of Kaufman's work, there are about a million of other things you can get out of it and be just as valid. Definitely a must-watch. The following day, I watched The Nice Guys on HBO Max, and it was really fun. Andrea Rice, who plays Ryan Gosling's daughter in the movie, is easily the MVP here. On May 29th, I saw Network, also streaming on HBO Max. On Letterboxd, I reviewed it without a rating because my mind was just not in the right place with everything going on here. It isn't really specific to what's going on in the world right now, but it was still pretty heavy and a lot to take in right then and there. Don't get me wrong though, it's a great movie and incredibly ahead of its time, and I could never not recommend it. Just don't prepare for just your average snappy satire, especially when you view it in the context of the world right now. And finally, I finished things off with Terrence Malick's The Tree of Life, which is incredibly artsy and tough to comprehend at times, but also I found it really relaxing and definitely beautiful. It's a movie where trying to make sense out of all of it is kind of a waste of time. Malick clearly looks at film as a canvas to paint one beautiful image after the next, and accompanied by a majestic score by my boy, living god, Alexander Desplat, it really soars. Alright, that was a quick little summary on basically all the movies I watched last month. Again, make sure to look out for my Rise of Skywalker video, which I hope to get out in late June or so. And as always, leave a like if you enjoyed this. Be sure to subscribe if you want to check out the rest of my content for some reason. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm recording this clip for the outro to address the turmoil that's going on in the country right now with regards to police brutality and racism. While I did make a normal, sort of cheery video, it is something that has been weighing on me, and I've been thinking a lot, and I decided to include some links in the description for ways you can help out. There's one that gives you pretty much every petition or place you can donate, text, call, for all that stuff if you want to help the cause. And the other is actually a link to another YouTube video for everyone who does not have the money or resources to donate right now. There's a video you can keep on loop in the background, it doesn't matter. Don't skip the ads, but all of that ad revenues for this person is going towards the Black Lives Matter movement. So I just wanted to call attention to that. Once again, thanks for watching the video, and hope to see you guys again soon. Hope you all are doing well.